what this is going to do is it's going to change the chemical composition in your bloodstream, okay? Whenever this individual or this entity or this person comes to mind, what I'm going to tell you is a way to change the chemicals that are released into your physiology, which is going to change how you feel whenever you think of this person, and it's going to change their impact, and it's going to just kind of squash whatever it is they're sending to you or whatever it is you're picking up from them. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to spend 2 seconds thinking about the individual that makes you feel all jacked up whenever they come to mind, or the situation. Now, after this individual or this situation has been held in your mind for 2 seconds, I want you to stop thinking about them. And remember, I told everyone I want you all to come up with something non-sexual that you can focus your energy on, that whenever you think about it, it makes you smile or it makes you laugh out loud because it was just so funny. And every single time you think about it, it causes you to crack up. Or some little baby, the first time they took off walking or took off running, and you just, every time you picture it, all you can do is smile. After you have thought about this janky thing or this janky person for 2 seconds, stop thinking about them and spend 2 seconds thinking about this marvelous thing that makes you smile and makes you feel better. And then stop thinking about them. And then think again about the thing that makes you feel bad for 2 seconds. Then, after 2 seconds have passed, I want you to stop thinking about them again and begin to focus your energy on think about the thing that makes you feel good and makes you smile or laugh, but while you're thinking that thought, imagine that your mouth is watering. Then stop thinking for that person. I mean, you know, the person or thing that makes you smile and feel good. Stop thinking about that after your mouth starts to water. Then start thinking about the thing that makes you feel bad again for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds of thinking about that bad thing, I want you to spend 2 seconds feeling. Now, keep in mind, as you do these do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, si sounds, you're going to learn what it's like for your body to heat up, because doing these sounds makes your body get hotter. Doesn't it, Nate? I'm sorry, I'm getting you mixed up with somebody else. Doesn't it, Eaton?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you're going to spend, once you've gotten accustomed to heating up your body doing these sounds, then you're going to know how it feels to heat up different parts of your body. I want you to feel your hands heat up for 2 seconds while you're thinking about the thing that makes you feel good again. You're going to think about the thing that makes you smile and laugh and feel good again for 2 seconds, during which time your mouth is watering and your hands are going to start heating up. You want to feel your hands get warm. After 2 seconds of that, start thinking about the bad thing again that makes you feel bad, that makes you feel all janky again, gives you knots in the stomach, for only 2 seconds. After 2 seconds of that, I want you to think again for 2 seconds about the thing that makes you smile and feel good and makes you laugh. And during that time, your mouth is watering, your hands are warm. Now you're going to feel your feet getting warm and heating up. After 2 seconds of that, you're going to stop thinking about that and start thinking about the bad and janky thought that makes you feel bad for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds of thinking about this bad thing, I want you to spend 2 more seconds where your mouth is watering, your hands are warm, your feet are warm, but now your stomach is getting warm. You're going to warm up your stomach, and you're going to do that for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds of this all-over warmth coming from your mouth watering, your hands warm, your feet warm, and now your stomach is warm, you're going to think for 2 seconds again about the thing that makes you feel bad. After 2 seconds of that, I want you to feel your chest heating up. So now your mouth is watering, your hands are warm, your feet are warm, your stomach is warm, and now your chest is beginning to feel warm. After 2 seconds of that, think for 2 seconds about the thing that makes you feel bad. Then spend 2 more seconds, stop thinking about that thing and start thinking about the thing that makes you laugh, smile, and feel good again for 2 seconds, during which time your mouth is watering, your hands are warm, your feet are warm, your stomach is warm, your chest is warm, and now your neck is feeling warm. Once you have your neck feeling all warm, you have this warm, all-over feeling, and you feel good and you feel warm all over, you're going to have a whole new chemical release. And now whenever you think about the individual or the incident that made you feel bad, you're going to wind up with this better feeling, so that whatever it was or whoever it was that was a problem is no longer a problem anymore. Now, it took you, Eaton, it took you 2 seconds to do this.
It took me about a minute and a half. It took longer than that.
That's what I meant. I meant to say 2 minutes. Okay, my bad. A minute and a half. It took him a minute and a half to do it. How long did it take before you noticed the difference?
Well, I really noticed the difference later in the day, but I know that I just know that when I started to think about that particular person, the thought that I had replaced that negative energy with was the thought that came to mind. So it happened to have been a song performance. So, that particular song, every time I thought about the person, would pop in my head instead of me thinking about, what I wanted to do to him. So, that's how it worked out for me. But it definitely, it happened, really fast.
Actually, it happens immediately. The reason he's saying he noticed it later in the day is because he had to encounter this individual later in the day, face to face, which upon encountering the individual, all the hostility was just like gone.
Right, exactly. That's exactly true.
Okay? I mean, it seems real simple. None of this is my science, okay, you guys? I'm not giving you anything that I made up. I'm not some guru that just woke up with this in some dream. Like I said, I see things differently than other people see things. I read very quickly, I comprehend very fast, and I have a tendency to get right to the meat and potatoes, and I can pull out the most important stuff. So I've read a lot of stuff over the years. When I was a teenager, I think probably when I was 15, I really didn't get into it deep because, I did get into it, and it was working even then, but then I still had some of this religious nonsense and inferiority complexes and all this other wrong thinking and not being clear of English going on in my head, so things didn't always go as well as they should. If I had known now, then what I know now, LAPD would have never, ever been able to frame my son. And if I remember, the next time I talk to you, I will tell you guys how I think I did tell you guys before, how I was able to get him out of jail very quickly just doing energy work. And he got out of there faster than the police said he could ever get out. It was, again, something he hadn't done. But I said, oh, hell no. We are not going through this again. My son will not be incarcerated again for something he did not do. The first time he was at school, this time he was at work. And they were like, well, he could have left work. It's like, man, he's on the bus on the other. The supervisor, like, he never left this place. He never left our site. Well, you can't watch him every minute. Do you watch him when he goes to the bathroom? I'm like, oh, no. I immediately did spiritual work, totally. And my son was released within a matter of hours. And I had been told by the police that the soonest he would be out would be maybe the next day, at the soonest. And that's if he got a release. Otherwise, he'd be locked up. But it's simple science. There's nothing to it. But like when I was 15, I think I read a book called Wishcraft, Wishcraft, and I'm going by memory. I'm surprised I remember because, I'm the first one to forget what the hell I read and where I read it. It was by a female named Barbara Sher, Sher. And when I was 17, I read something called The Wisdom of the Mystic Masters by Joseph J. Weed. And, there was some others. There's so many things that I've read over the years that just give you science, and then yoga books and yoga postures and all this, it all goes together. I took music class, I took piano. It all goes together. And the more you know about different things, the more you can put it together. But, again, this is not my stuff. I just have a way of seeing things differently, and I'm putting together different sciences from different places that go together, and I'm putting them in an A, B, C, D order. And I'm laying the foundation. If you take this information in the foundational order that I give it to you, you will be very successful. I had one sister that contacted me. She was like, Sister Yaffa, I did XYZ thing, and it didn't manifest right. I didn't get what I asked for. And I said, how do you know you didn't get what you asked for? You sure? And she was like, yeah, well, I wanted that. I said, well, if you really think about it, a lot of times you got what you asked for, it's not what you meant. But you usually get exactly what you ask for. Most people just do not know what they're asking for because they do not know English, or they did not be as clear about it and as specific about it as they should be. I think I shared with you guys how I wanted an RV motorhome at one point, and I manifested one like within 24 to 72 hours. But it wasn't what I wanted, so I had to let it go. A guy was like, I have the pink slip, I'll let you have it. I met this little European youngster on the bus. I was going to visit my son, who was currently incarcerated for something he didn't do in Southern California. And on my way to visit, I was on the bus, and, the bus got empty as you're going out to, I don't know which one of these dang camps it was, some camp, probably in the Sherman Oaks area, maybe. I was on my way, and I encountered this European youngster on the bus, and we wound up being just dang near really the only two left passengers on it. Well, somehow we started talking, and I was looking we kept passing motorhomes on the road, and I was like, one of these days I'm going to get me one of those. I got to have a motorhome. He's like, you want one of those? I have one. You can have it. I have a friend it belongs to. He's in prison. He gave me the pink slip and everything, and I don't have anywhere to put it. I don't know what to do with it. If you want it, if you can get it, you can come get it. You want to go see it? Can you come with me now? I'll show it to you now. I'll give you the pink slip and everything. I'm like, I can't go now. I'm on my way somewhere. Maybe I can do it on my way back. You going to be around? He's like, yeah, I'll be around. I'll be here all day. Here's my number. I gave him mine. He gave me his. I had a cell phone, so when I was on my way back, I called him, and I went and met him. And, I'm like, where's this cat taking me? We're going out through the woods and all kind of shit. I'm like, man, I hope this dude ain't finna get me out here and try to do something to me. But see, I'm pretty good at securing myself, so I kept better than arm's distance. And we're moseying on out, and I could see the clearing of where we were going. He's like, it's right over here. We're just going to keep going. It's right up here. And sure enough, we walked up on this RV motorhome. He's like, it's been parked here for a long time. It still had black and yellow California plates. Now, that's some old stuff because California been on white plates for the longest. But it was parked. It had bunk beds. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? Nothing. You just need to, you got to get these flats fixed, and, you come up, get somebody to, jump the battery and stuff, and it runs, it's just got some minor stuff going on with it. And I was like, let me see if I can find somebody to come and help me get it, and I'll get back to you. I knew when I was standing there looking at it that I didn't want it. It was a mess. It was not what I wanted, but dang, it was sure to know what I asked for, an RV motorhome, and I didn't want to pay nothing too much for it. And he was trying to give me an RV motorhome for totally free, ready to give me the pink. He's like, you want the pink slip now? I said, no, let me get back to you. I'm saying all that to say, you speak up on and think up on what you want every day, but our people don't comprehend who they are or what their level of power is, because everybody has you thinking that because you're melanin rich, you're inferior, and everybody else is better than you, and everybody's prettier than you. Just like somebody sent me an email about these people that, I don't know, Psychology Today or somebody saying so-called black women are ugly. And I'm like, beauty is in the eye of the so-called beholder, and who the hell are they to tell you? You're talking about a bunch of people that are still running around here that came from cannibalism and incested out. They can't tell you what's beauty for you. You're talking about people that eat people and ate children and fetuses and then turned around and called you a cannibal. People that were murderers and rapists by nature and then turned around and called you criminals and rapists. People that stole whole continents, whole countries, whole land masses, whole tribe